Have you ever wondered why some women seem to effortlessly attract the kind of men who cherish, respect, and commit to them, while others find themselves stuck in a cycle of disappointment? What's the secret? Is it beauty, luck, fate? No. The answer is much deeper than that. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, you'll discover the one shift in mindset that can change everything for you. The moment you understand this, you'll no longer feel the need to chase love. It will come to you naturally. Because here's the truth. Attraction is not about chasing. It's about becoming. The truth about attraction. Attraction isn't just about looks. It's about energy. It's about the way you carry yourself, the way you think, the way you walk into a room without seeking validation from anyone. Because here's what most people don't realize. The world doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you are. If you carry self-doubt, if you feel unworthy, if deep down you believe you're not enough, you will attract people who reflect that back to you. Not because you're not lovable, not because you're not valuable, but because people can only love you at the level you love yourself. Think about it. Have you ever met someone who didn't seem particularly stunning, yet they had an undeniable presence, a magnetism that made others gravitate toward them? That wasn't luck. That was self-assurance. That was inner peace. That was the kind of energy that quality men find irresistible. The silent language of confidence. Confidence speaks louder than words. You don't have to announce it. You don't have to prove it. It shows in your actions. It shows in the way you don't force conversations because you know your presence is enough. It shows in the way you don't settle because you know your worth. It shows in the way you don't chase because you know the right person will recognize you. When you truly embody confidence, you don't need to beg for attention. It comes to you effortlessly. Because people are drawn to certainty. They are drawn to someone who is secure in who they are. And that's why the secret to attracting a quality man starts with you, not with him. The power of self-perception. Here's something you need to understand about psychology. People treat you based on the way you see yourself. If you believe you are ordinary, people will treat you as ordinary. If you believe you are a prize, people will rise to the occasion to win you. This is why so many women who constantly seek validation end up with men who take them for granted. Because when you need someone to tell you that you are enough, you hand over your power. But when you already know your worth, that's when everything changes. Because a woman who knows she is valuable doesn't sit around hoping for someone to notice her. She moves through life with a sense of purpose. She focuses on her growth, her passions, her happiness. And that kind of energy, that's what pulls in the right kind of man. The difference between attraction and desperation. Have you ever seen someone who is desperate for attention? They try too hard, they over-explain, they overcompensate. And the more they do, the more they push people away. Desperation is the enemy of attraction. It tells the world, I don't believe I am enough, so I need you to complete me. But true attraction, it's effortless. It's the quiet confidence of knowing that whether someone chooses you or not, you are still whole. And this is where most people get it wrong. They think they need to do more, be more to attract the right person. But in reality, it's not about adding anything. It's about removing the need for external validation. Because the moment you stop seeking approval, you become magnetic. The shift that changes everything. So here's the key. Stop asking, how can I make him like me? And start asking, do I even like him? That one shift in perspective changes everything. Because now, instead of trying to fit into someone else's world, you are evaluating whether they deserve to be in yours. Instead of proving your worth, you're observing their actions to see if they align with the life you want. And that is where real attraction happens. That is where the right man takes notice. Because quality men don't fall for insecurity. They don't fall for neediness. They fall for certainty. For a woman who doesn't just know what she wants, but who knows that she is worthy of it. Final thought, become the magnet. The secret to attracting a quality man isn't about learning tricks or tactics. It's not about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about embodying confidence so deeply that the right man can't help but notice. Because when you stop chasing, when you stop needing, when you start living in your full authentic power, that's when love finds you. So here's the real question. Are you ready to become the kind of woman who naturally attracts the best? Because when you do, everything changes. This section sets the foundation for the entire video, using deep motivational psychology to engage the audience. Let me know if you'd like any adjustments before we move to the next section. Most people have been conditioned to believe that if you want something, you have to chase it. You have to fight for it. You have to prove yourself worthy of it. But when it comes to relationships, the more you chase, the further you push what you desire away. Chasing comes from a place of lack. It's fueled by the fear of losing, the fear of being alone, the fear of not being enough. And fear-based actions never lead to fulfilling results. Because when you chase, you send a message, whether you realize it or not, that says, I need you to feel complete. And nothing repels quality people faster than desperation. Attraction, on the other hand, is effortless. It doesn't demand, it doesn't plead, it doesn't force. Attraction is about becoming so aligned with yourself that what is meant for you flows into your life without resistance. Because here's the truth, you don't chase what's truly meant for you. You become the kind of person who naturally draws it in. The psychology of energy. Every person carries an energy, an invisible force that communicates more than words ever could. Without realizing it, people pick up on this energy and respond accordingly. When you operate from a place of insecurity, you attract situations that reinforce that insecurity. When you approach relationships from a mindset of scarcity, you encounter people who reflect that scarcity back to you. But when you embody certainty, when you know your value and refuse to accept less than you deserve, the people around you respond to that. Think of attraction like gravity. It's silent, yet powerful. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to convince anyone of it. It simply exists. And when you stand in your power, the right people naturally feel pulled towards you. But the moment you chase, you reverse that energy. Instead of drawing people in, you push them away. Instead of being a magnet, you become a force that repels. So the question isn't, how do I make someone like me? The real question is, how do I embody the kind of energy that naturally draws in the right people? The difference between wanting and needing. There's a major difference between wanting a great relationship and needing one. Wanting comes from abundance. It says, I know my life is already whole, but I'd love to share it with the right person. Needing, however, comes from emptiness. It says, I don't feel complete on my own, so I need someone to fill the gaps in my life. The problem? No relationship can fix what's missing inside of you. No person can give you the love you refuse to give yourself. A quality partner doesn't want to complete you. They want to complement you. They are drawn to those who are already fulfilled, already happy, already thriving on their own. Because a relationship should be an addition to your life, not a survival strategy. The more you operate from the belief that you need someone to be happy, the more you sabotage your chances of finding the right person. Because people can sense when they are being relied on for happiness. And that's a heavy burden no one wants to carry. Happiness attracts happiness. Fulfillment attracts fulfillment. When you become the source of your own joy, the right person will naturally align with you. The secret to magnetic attraction, there is something undeniably powerful about a person who knows their worth, who doesn't seek approval, and who moves through life with quiet confidence. That kind of energy is magnetic. It draws people in, not because of anything external, but because of an unshakable sense of self. People are naturally drawn to those who exude certainty, not arrogance, not overconfidence, but a deep, unspoken assurance that says, I know who I am, and I don't need to prove it. When you stop chasing, you allow space for the right things to come to you. You are no longer grasping for attention. You are no longer bending yourself to fit into someone else's life. Instead, you are living authentically, and the right people will recognize and appreciate that. This is why the most attractive people aren't the ones who try the hardest. They aren't the ones who constantly seek validation. They are the ones who are content within themselves. They are the ones who don't force, don't beg, don't manipulate. And that's what makes them irresistible. Walking away is power. One of the most powerful things you can do in any relationship is have the strength to walk away from anything that doesn't align with your worth. Too many people settle. Too many people hold on to relationships that drain them, hoping that things will change, that people will change. But real strength is knowing when to let go. When you know what you bring to the table, you stop wasting time at tables where you aren't valued. When you trust that something better is out there, you don't cling to things that don't serve you. Walking away doesn't mean you're giving up. It means you're making space. It means you believe in something greater than what you've been accepting. And that belief alone changes everything. Final thought, step into your power. The most beautiful thing you can do is become the kind of person who doesn't chase, who doesn't beg, who doesn't compromise their worth. The moment you stop trying to prove yourself is the moment the right people start taking notice. Because real attraction isn't about tactics or tricks, it's about energy. It's about becoming so confident in yourself that what is meant for you finds you effortlessly. So ask yourself, are you chasing or are you attracting? Because the choice is yours. Every relationship in your life is a direct reflection of what you believe about yourself. The way people treat you is not random. It is a response to the standard you set. If you accept less, you will receive less. If you demand more, the world will rise to meet your expectations. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. If you compromise your values, if you tolerate disrespect, if you lower your standards out of fear of being alone, you send a message: I am willing to accept less than I deserve. But when you know your worth, when you refuse to settle for anything less than respect, love, and effort, something shifts. People begin to see you differently. The ones who only wanted to take advantage will disappear, and the ones who recognize your value will step up. Because self-worth is not just about saying you deserve better. It's about living like you do. Why some people settle for less? Most people don't accept less because they want to. They accept less because they believe it's the best they can get. Maybe they've been told they aren't good enough. Maybe they've been hurt so many times that they started believing love is supposed to be painful. Maybe they think that if they ask for too much, they will end up with nothing, so they tolerate mistreatment. They cling to relationships that drain them. They settle for breadcrumbs, thinking it's better than nothing. But here's the truth. What you settle for today will determine your happiness tomorrow. Every time you allow someone to disrespect you, every time you stay in a relationship that doesn't fulfill you, you reinforce the idea that this is all you're worth. And that belief keeps you stuck. It keeps you trapped in cycles of disappointment. But the moment you decide you deserve more, the moment you refuse to entertain anything less than what aligns with your highest self, that's when your life begins to change. The power of self-respect. Self-respect is the foundation of attraction. It is the invisible force that commands how others see you. A person who respects themselves doesn't beg for love. They don't tolerate disrespect. They don't stay in situations that make them question their worth. And this kind of energy is powerful. It forces the right people to step up and the wrong people to walk away, because when you respect yourself, you set a silent standard. You don't need to explain it. You don't need to convince anyone. Your presence alone makes it clear. And those who cannot meet that standard will remove themselves, not because you pushed them away, but because they were never capable of giving you what you truly deserve. That is why self-respect is the ultimate filter. It protects you from people who would take advantage of your kindness. It shields you from relationships that drain you, and it ensures that only those who truly value you have a place in your life, attracting what aligns with you. The kind of person you attract is a reflection of the energy you put out. If you carry insecurity, you will attract those who prey on insecurity. If you operate from self-worth, you will attract those who recognize and appreciate that worth. This is why changing your external reality always starts internally. You don't find a great relationship by searching harder. You attract one by becoming the kind of person who naturally draws in what aligns with them. If you want someone who is loyal, be someone who values loyalty. If you want someone who is ambitious, be someone who is constantly growing. If you want someone who respects you, be someone who respects themselves first. You don't need to chase the right person. You need to become the right person, and the right relationship will follow. What you allow is what will continue. Every time you accept behavior that disrespects you, you give permission for it to happen again. If someone knows they can treat you poorly and you will stay, they have no reason to change. That is why boundaries are essential, not to punish others, but to protect yourself. Boundaries are not about controlling people, they are about controlling what you allow in your life. A person with strong self-worth does not explain their boundaries. They do not negotiate their standards. They simply walk away from anything that does not align with their values. And that is what separates those who attract healthy relationships from those who get trapped in toxic cycles. It is the ability to say, I am not available for anything that does not honor my worth. Final thought. You set the price tag. Imagine you are a diamond sitting in a store. The price tag on you is set by you. If you label yourself as cheap, people will bargain with you. They will offer less, take advantage, and walk away when they find something else. But if you price yourself as rare, valuable, and irreplaceable, only those who truly appreciate your worth will step forward. The way you see yourself is the way the world will see you. If you carry yourself with confidence, if you refuse to settle, if you embody self-respect, you will attract people who mirror that energy. Because at the end of the day, love is not about luck. It is about self-worth. And when you truly understand your value, you will never have to convince anyone to see it. You will simply stand in your power, and the right people will recognize it. The most attractive people in the world are not the ones constantly seeking approval. They are not the ones bending over backward to be liked. They are the ones who know they are the prize. This mindset shift changes everything. Instead of wondering if someone likes you, you ask yourself, do they deserve me? Instead of trying to impress others, you focus on being the kind of person who naturally attracts respect, admiration, and love. The moment you stop proving yourself is the moment you step into your power. Because when you carry yourself as the prize, you stop chasing and start attracting. You stop begging and start choosing. You stop fearing loss and start realizing that not everyone is worthy of your energy. Why confidence is magnetic. Confidence isn't about arrogance. It's not about thinking you are better than anyone else. It's about knowing your worth without needing external validation. It's about walking into a room with an energy that says, I belong here. People are naturally drawn to those who don't seek approval. When you need constant reassurance, you give away your power. You become dependent on the opinions of others to feel good about yourself. And that makes you easy to manipulate, easy to control, easy to disregard. But when you carry confidence, when you are secure within yourself, you don't need anyone to validate your worth. And that is powerful. Because the less you seek approval, the more people want to give it to you. Confidence is rare. Most people are filled with self-doubt, constantly questioning themselves. When they meet someone who moves through life with certainty, it stands out. It commands attention. It makes people want to be around you, not because you're trying, but because your energy is undeniable. Scarcity increases value. Anything that is rare is valuable. People want what is not easily available. That's why exclusivity increases demand. That's why the most sought-after opportunities are not handed out to everyone. This applies to relationships as well. When you make yourself too available, when you give your time and energy to anyone who asks, you lower your value. People take you for granted. They assume you will always be there. But when you set boundaries, when you protect your energy, when you make it clear that your time is valuable, you create scarcity, and scarcity increases value. Being the prize means not allowing just anyone into your life. It means recognizing that not everyone deserves access to you. It means being selective, not desperate. And when people see that you are not easily won over, that you are not seeking validation, they naturally feel the need to earn your time, attention, and presence. The power of walking away, nothing is more powerful than the ability to walk away, not out of anger, not out of manipulation, but out of self-respect. The moment you realize that you don't need to force anyone to stay in your life is the moment you become truly free. You stop holding on to relationships that drain you. You stop tolerating half-hearted effort. You stop chasing people who don't appreciate you. When you walk away from anything that does not meet your standards, you make a statement. I am not afraid to be alone. I am not afraid to choose myself. I am not afraid to wait for what I truly deserve. And that confidence is powerful. People notice it. They feel it. It makes them realize that if they want to be in your life, they have to step up or step aside. Weak people beg to be chosen. Strong people choose. Raising your standards without apology. Many people fear setting high standards because they think it will scare people away. But the truth is, the right people will rise to meet your standards. The wrong people will run from them. And that's exactly what you want. Your standards are not about making others uncomfortable. They are about ensuring that you are surrounded by people who truly value you. They are about creating a life where you are respected, cherished, and appreciated. The right people will never be intimidated by your standards. They will admire them, because people who truly care about you will always want to give you their best. The only ones who get upset about your standards are the ones who never planned to meet them in the first place. Final thought. Be the prize, not the option. At the end of the day, the way you see yourself determines how others see you. If you carry yourself as valuable, people will treat you as valuable. If you allow yourself to be an option, people will treat you like one. You were never meant to beg for attention. You were never meant to settle for less than you deserve. You were never meant to chase love, approval, or validation. You were meant to be the prize, to stand in your power, to know your worth so deeply that you never again accept anything less than what aligns with your highest self. And when you do that, when you truly embody confidence, self-respect, and high standards, something incredible happens. You stop seeking, you stop chasing, you start attracting. People don't just respond to your words, they respond to your energy. They sense your confidence, your certainty, your self-worth before you even say a word. The energy you bring into a room determines how others see you, how they treat you, and whether they are drawn to you or not. This is why it is never just about looks, money, or status. You can have all of that, but if you carry insecurity, desperation, or self-doubt, people will feel it, and that energy will push away the very things you desire. On the other hand, when you radiate self-assurance, when you carry yourself with quiet strength, when you exude a presence that says, "I know who I am," people cannot help but take notice. They respect you, admire you, and naturally want to be around you, not because you're trying to impress them, but because your energy speaks for itself. Why desperation repels and confidence attracts? There is nothing more off-putting than desperation. It signals lack, it signals fear. It tells the world that you are not enough on your own, and that you need others to complete you. And that kind of energy will always push people away. Think about it. Have you ever been around someone who was overly eager to please? Someone who constantly sought approval? Someone who seemed too available? It doesn't feel attractive. It feels like they are trying to convince you to see their value. And the more they try, the less appealing they become. Now contrast that with someone who is secure within themselves. Someone who doesn't need to prove anything. Someone who is perfectly fine with or without external validation. That kind of energy is magnetic. People are drawn to them without even understanding why, because confidence is quiet. Confidence doesn't chase. Confidence doesn't beg. Confidence chooses. Becoming the person who naturally attracts quality people, the relationships you attract will always be a reflection of who you are internally. If you want to attract someone who is emotionally strong, you must become emotionally strong. If you want to attract someone who values respect, you must first respect yourself. If you want to attract someone who is confident and secure, you must embody that energy yourself. This is where most people get it wrong. They focus on finding the right person instead of becoming the right person. They try to search for love instead of aligning themselves with the energy that naturally draws love in. You don't chase what you are, you attract it. This is why the most powerful thing you can do is work on yourself. Heal the insecurities that make you settle. Strengthen the confidence that makes you walk away from what isn't right. Build the self-respect that demands better without having to say a word. When you do this, you stop looking outside for what can only be found within. And once you reach that place, the right people will start showing up effortlessly. The subtle art of not seeking validation, needing validation, is one of the biggest traps in life. It keeps you dependent on others to feel good about yourself. It makes you vulnerable to manipulation. It puts your happiness in someone else's hands. But the moment you stop needing external validation is the moment you take back your power. You no longer seek approval. You no longer bend your values to fit someone else's expectation. You no longer wait for someone else to tell you that you are worthy, because you already know. And when you carry that kind of certainty, people can feel it. They see it in the way you move, the way you speak, the way you hold yourself. And suddenly, instead of you seeking validation from others, others start seeking validation from you, attracting without forcing. The strongest relationships are not forced. They are not built on games, manipulation, or trying too hard. They flow naturally. They happen when two people recognize each other's value without pressure, without desperation, without pretense. This is why trying to impress someone never works. The moment you feel the need to prove your worth, you are already giving your power away. The right people will see your value without you having to advertise it. This is the difference between chasing and attracting. Chasing is exhausting. Attracting is effortless. Chasing requires convincing. Attracting requires being. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. You don't need to make someone like you. The only thing you need to do is stand firmly in who you are and let the right people come to you. Final thought. You are already enough. The biggest lie society tells you is that you need to be more to be loved, that you need to change, that you need to fit a certain mold, that you need to meet external standards before you are worthy. But the truth is, you are already enough. Right now. Exactly as you are. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to seek approval. You don't need to be anyone other than your most authentic self. The moment you embrace that truth, your energy changes. Your presence shifts. You start moving differently. You start carrying yourself with an inner confidence that cannot be faked. And when you do that, the world responds. The right people take notice. The right relationships come effortlessly. And you finally understand that attracting quality people was never about finding them. It was about becoming someone who naturally draws them in. Your presence speaks before you do. Long before you say a word, people can feel your energy, your confidence, and your self-worth. It's not about what you wear, how much money you have, or how attractive you are. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about the silent message you send without even trying. People are drawn to those who stand with certainty, those who walk into a room with an energy that commands attention, not because they demand it, but because their presence is undeniable. This is the power of being high value. It's the difference between blending in and standing out. It's what separates those who attract effortlessly from those who are constantly overlooked. The power of self-assurance confidence is not arrogance. It's not loud. It's not about proving yourself. Real confidence is quiet. It's unshakable certainty in who you are, what you stand for, and what you deserve. It's knowing deep within that you don't need to convince anyone of your worth. When you have this kind of assurance, you move differently. You don't try to impress. You don't force conversations. You don't seek approval. You simply are, and that is enough. This kind of energy is rare. That's why it stands out. Most people are filled with self-doubt. Most people need constant reassurance, but when they meet someone who does it, someone who carries themselves with quiet strength, it captivates them. They respect it. They want to be around it. Non-reactivity. The ultimate strength, one of the greatest signs of a high-value person, is non-reactivity. It means you don't let external circumstances shake your internal state. You don't react emotionally to every little thing. You don't let someone's words define your mood. Think about the people who are truly powerful. They are calm. They are composed. They don't let small things throw them off. And that kind of presence is deeply attractive. It shows self-mastery. When you are non-reactivity, people notice. They see that you are not easily influenced. They realize that you are not seeking validation, and that alone makes them want to earn your respect. Non-reactivity doesn't mean you don't care. It means you control how you respond. It means you stay grounded no matter what. And that kind of emotional stability is a rare and powerful trait. Becoming a source of stability, people are naturally drawn to stability. In a world filled with chaos, insecurity, and uncertainty, the one who remains centered stands out. When you become that source of stability, when your presence brings a sense of calm and certainty, you become irreplaceable. You become the kind of person others seek out, not just for attraction, but for guidance, for wisdom, for strength. This is why working on yourself is so important. When you heal your own insecurities, when you master your emotions, when you build a foundation of confidence that doesn't waver, you automatically stand out. You don't have to try to attract anyone. Your presence does it for you. The secret to charisma, deep self-awareness. True charisma comes from self-awareness. It's not about saying the perfect words or acting a certain way. It's about understanding yourself so deeply that you naturally connect with others. People with high self-awareness have a way of making others feel seen and understood. They are present in conversations. They listen deeply. They don't just talk about themselves, they bring out the best in those around them. This makes them magnetic. Because in a world where most people are focused on themselves, someone who is deeply aware and engaged stands out. If you want to be truly captivating, work on understanding yourself. Know your strengths, your weaknesses, your triggers, and your values. The more you understand yourself, the more naturally you will connect with others. Detachment, the key to true power. The moment you stop needing something is the moment it starts coming to you effortlessly. This is the power of detachment. Detachment doesn't mean you don't care. It means you are not desperate. It means you are perfectly fine with or without someone's validation, love, or approval. People can sense when you are too attached. When you need something from them, it creates pressure. It makes them pull away. But when you operate from a place of abundance, when you know that your happiness isn't dependent on anyone else, people feel that too. And that energy pulls them in. This is why those who have options, those who are not afraid to walk away, those who live with certainty instead of fear, they are the ones who naturally attract. Because there is no force, no pressure, just confidence in knowing that what is meant for them will never have to be chased. Final thought. Own your presence. You don't need to be the loudest person in the room to be noticed. You don't need to prove yourself to anyone. The most powerful presence is the one that requires no explanation. Walk with confidence, speak with certainty, move with purpose, and most importantly, carry yourself in a way that makes it clear you are not just an option, you are the standard. The way you allow people to treat you is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. If you tolerate disrespect, inconsistency, or half-hearted efforts, it's because, deep down, you haven't fully accepted your worth. But when you set high standards, when you refuse to entertain anything less than what aligns with your value, you send a powerful message to the world. This isn't about arrogance. It's not about demanding perfection. It's about self-respect. It's about knowing that the love, the attention, the energy you give is valuable. And because of that, you won't settle for less than what is worthy of your presence. People rise to the level of expectations you set. If you accept less, you will always receive less. But the moment you make it clear through your actions, not just your words, that you will only entertain what is genuine, consistent, and worthy, everything changes. Why boundaries are essential for attraction. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They are about protecting your energy. They are about creating a space where only quality is allowed to exist. When you set clear boundaries, you filter out those who do not respect or appreciate your value. You separate those who are truly interested from those who are just passing time. And most importantly, you show yourself that you are strong enough to walk away from what does not serve you. This is where many people struggle. They fear that setting boundaries will drive others away. But the truth is, the only people who will leave when you enforce your standards are the ones who were never meant to stay. Those who truly respect and value you will rise to meet your expectations. When you respect yourself, when you hold your standards high, the right people won't be intimidated. They will be inspired. Why walking away is more powerful than chasing anything. Attention, love, approval puts you in a position of weakness. It sends the message that you believe what you are chasing is more valuable than you are. But the moment you realize that you are the prize, that your time, energy, and presence are valuable, chasing becomes unnecessary. When something or someone does not align with your standards, you don't beg, you don't convince, you simply walk away, not with anger, not with resentment, but with certainty. Certainty that what is meant for you will never require you to lower your worth. This is power, this is strength. Because the truth is, nothing is more attractive than someone who knows they are enough. Someone who doesn't beg for love, but instead inspires it. The difference between standards and unrealistic expectations. High standards are about self-respect. Unrealistic expectations, on the other hand, are about control. There is a difference between demanding someone be perfect and expecting them to treat you with consistency, effort, and respect. No one is flawless. No relationship is without challenges. But the key is knowing the difference between imperfection and disrespect, between a person who is growing and learning and someone who is simply not willing to meet you at the level you deserve. When you have high standards, you allow people to be human. But you do not allow them to cross the lines of what you know is unacceptable. The energy of take it or leave it. There is a level of confidence that comes when you no longer negotiate your value. When you stop explaining why you deserve better, when you stop pleading for the bare minimum, when you carry yourself with an energy that says, this is who I am, and you are either worthy of it or you are not. This doesn't mean being cold. It doesn't mean being closed off. It means moving with certainty. It means never settling for what drains you, disrespects you, or makes you feel less than what you truly are. When you embrace this mindset, people sense it. They feel that you are not someone who can be manipulated, played with, or taken for granted, and that energy alone will attract those who are truly ready while filtering out those who are not. The truth about being too much. You will not be for everyone. Your standards, your confidence, your self-respect. Some people will find it intimidating. Some will say you expect too much. Some will call you difficult. But remember this, the people who say you are too much are simply the ones who are not enough. The right people will never be intimidated by your self-worth. They will celebrate it. They will admire it. They will be drawn to it. So never lower yourself to make someone else comfortable. Never shrink to fit into someone else's limited vision. Stand tall, own your value, and trust that the right people, the ones who are truly meant to be in your life, will see your worth without needing to be convinced. Final thought. You set the standard for how others treat you. The world reflects what you accept. If you accept less, you will always receive less. But the moment you raise your standards, not just in words, but in actions, the quality of everything in your life will change. Love, respect, attention. These are things you do not beg for. They are things that come naturally when you know you deserve them. So decide today, will you settle, or will you stand so firmly in your worth that only the best will be allowed into your life? Because the moment you choose the latter, you will never have to chase again. The right people, the right opportunities, the right energy, they will all come to you because you have become the person who deserves them. There is a level of power that comes with emotional control. When you master your emotions, you master your life. You become the kind of person who cannot be easily shaken, easily manipulated, or easily thrown off course. And that is rare. That is what sets you apart. Most people allow their emotions to dictate their actions. They react impulsively. They let temporary feelings control permanent decisions. They let the opinions of others shape how they see themselves. But when you reach a point where you control your emotions, not suppress them, but truly own them, you become unstoppable. The power of emotional mastery. People who lack control over their emotions are easy to read, easy to manipulate, and easy to break. They overreact. They seek validation to feel secure. They let fear and insecurity dictate their choices. But a person who has mastered their emotions, they are calm. They are steady. They don't make decisions based on fleeting feelings. They respond instead of react. And this kind of emotional strength is what makes them truly powerful. When you develop this ability, you no longer allow external circumstances to define your mood. You no longer let someone else's behavior dictate your peace. You become free. Free from the need for approval. Free from the fear of rejection. Free from the emotional ups and downs that control so many people. And when you are free, you stand out. People notice. They respect you. They are drawn to you. Because emotional control is a sign of strength, and strength is rare. The secret to being unshakable. No matter how confident, how successful, or how self-assured you are, life will test you. People will try to get under your skin. You will face rejection. You will experience setbacks. But how you respond in those moments defines everything. A weak mindset crumbles under pressure. A strong mindset remains steady. Being unshakable does not mean you don't feel. It means you don't let what you feel control your actions. You experience emotions, but you don't act out of desperation, anger, or fear. You take a step back, you process, and then you respond with clarity and wisdom. And the moment you develop this ability, the moment you stop allowing temporary emotions to control your life, you become a force that cannot be ignored. Why self-worth cannot be given, only claimed. Too many people search for self-worth in others. They wait for someone to choose them, to validate them, to prove that they are enough. But self-worth is never something you receive from another person. It is something you claim for yourself. The moment you understand this, you stop chasing, you stop begging, you stop needing constant reassurance. Because you know without question that you are already enough. And when you carry yourself with this level of self-worth, the world responds. People treat you with respect because you demand it, not with words, but with how you carry yourself. This is why those who truly respect themselves never settle for half love, inconsistency, or games. They don't engage in unnecessary drama. They don't entertain people who do not match their energy. Because they know their time, their love, and their presence are valuable. The danger of seeking validation. There is nothing more draining than living a life based on what others think. When you constantly seek validation, you become a prisoner. Every move you make is based on approval. Every decision is made out of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being alone, fear of not being good enough. But the truth is, no one can give you the validation you seek. Even if they do, it will never be enough, because the only approval that truly matters is your own. The moment you stop seeking validation, everything shifts. You move differently. You speak with more certainty. You stop explaining yourself. You stop overthinking every little action. And people feel that. They sense when someone operates from a place of confidence rather than neediness. And that confidence, that self-certainty, it is magnetic. The strength in walking away without fear. There will come a time when you have to walk away from something that no longer aligns with your worth. A situation, a person, an environment, something that does not reflect the value you bring. And in that moment, you will have two choices. Lower yourself to stay or walk away with dignity. Too many people hold on out of fear. Fear of being alone. Fear of missing out. Fear that nothing better will come. But the truth is, the moment you walk away from what is not meant for you, you make space for what is. Strength is not in holding on. Strength is in having the courage to let go. To trust yourself enough to know that what you truly deserve will never require you to beg, chase, or compromise your self-respect. Final thought, own your power, own your life. The way you carry yourself, the way you respond to life, the way you honor your worth, it all determines the quality of your experiences. You do not need external validation to be enough. You do not need to chase love, approval, or attention. You only need to recognize the power that already exists within you. Stand firm in who you are. Hold your standards high. Control your emotions, own your worth, and move with the energy of someone who knows their value is undeniable. Because the moment you do, the world will have no choice but to recognize it too. Everything in life is a reflection of what you believe you deserve. The people you attract, the opportunities that come your way, the relationships you experience, all of it starts from within. If you believe you are unworthy, you will unconsciously allow situations that reinforce that belief. If you carry yourself with doubt, hesitation, or fear, you will find yourself surrounded by people who feed off that energy. But when you step into certainty, when you embrace your worth without hesitation, the entire game changes. The energy you give is the energy you receive. The world does not give you what you want, it gives you what you are. This is why chasing rarely works. When you chase something, you send a signal that you don't already have it, that you lack something, that you need something outside of yourself to feel whole. And in doing so, you push it further away. But when you operate from a place of abundance, when you carry yourself as someone who is already complete, you naturally attract people and opportunities that reflect that confidence. You don't have to prove yourself. You don't have to beg for attention. You simply exist in your power, and the right people recognize it. Think about the most magnetic people you've ever met. They don't chase. They don't seek approval. They don't operate from fear or desperation. Instead, they stand firm in who they are, and because of that, they naturally draw others toward them. This is the power of energy. The energy you give is always the energy you receive. Why desperation pushes people away, neediness repels. When you need someone to validate you, when you crave constant reassurance, when you rely on others to make you feel whole, you give away your power, and people can sense it. Confidence is attractive because it communicates self-sufficiency. It says, I am enough as I am. I do not need you, but I welcome you if you align with my energy. Desperation, on the other hand, communicates lack. It says, I don't believe I am enough, so I need you to fill the gaps in my worth. No one is drawn to lack. No one is inspired by neediness, but everyone is drawn to strength. Everyone is inspired by someone who stands firm in their worth. This is why the most attractive energy in the world is certainty. Certainty in who you are, certainty in what you bring, certainty that the right people will recognize your value without needing to be convinced. Becoming a high-value individual, attracting quality people is not about luck. It is about alignment. It is about becoming the kind of person who naturally draws in the connections you desire. If you want loyalty, you must embody loyalty. If you want depth, you must carry depth. If you want consistency, you must be consistent in your own life. Because the truth is, you will never attract what you want. You will always attract what you are. This means investing in yourself, strengthening your mind, your body, your emotional state. It means having a purpose, something that drives you, something that makes your presence powerful. It means refusing to settle for anything that does not align with your vision for yourself. And when you operate from this place of self-respect and certainty, the right people will naturally be drawn to you. You won't have to force anything. You won't have to beg for love, attention, or commitment, because your energy alone will communicate your worth, the strength to walk away from the wrong energy. A person who truly values themselves is never afraid to walk away. They do not cling to people who show inconsistency. They do not chase after attention. They do not tolerate disrespect. They simply recognize when something does not align, and they move on without hesitation. This level of detachment is not about being cold. It is about having standards. It is about knowing that keeping the wrong energy around only blocks the right energy from entering your life. Weakness begs. Weakness tries to convince. Strength lets go. Strength trusts. Strength knows that what is meant to stay will stay effortlessly. And this kind of strength, it is magnetic. It commands respect without needing to demand it. It attracts quality without needing to search for it. Because when you truly value yourself, the world has no choice but to match that value. Why patience is a superpower? One of the biggest mistakes people make is rushing the process. They settle for less because they fear waiting. They lower their standards because they believe the right person isn't coming. They accept inconsistency because they'd rather have something than nothing. But patience is a superpower. It is the ability to wait for what truly aligns rather than grasp at what is convenient. It is knowing that temporary loneliness is better than permanent disappointment. And when you carry this kind of patience, you become rare. You become the kind of person who does not settle, who does not compromise their worth for temporary validation. And because of that, you attract what is truly meant for you. Final thought, you are the prize. Everything in life is a reflection of how you see yourself. If you see yourself as valuable, if you move with certainty, if you refuse to accept anything less than what aligns with your worth, the world will respond accordingly. You are not meant to chase. You are not meant to beg for love, attention, or respect. You are meant to stand tall in your worth, knowing that the right people will recognize it. And the moment you truly embrace this, you will never have to force anything again. Everything will come to you because you have become the person who naturally attracts it. There is one thing that separates those who are valued from those who are taken for granted: boundaries. Boundaries are not walls, they are standards. They are the invisible lines that define how you allow yourself to be treated. And the moment you set them, the moment you enforce them, the entire way people respond to you changes. Weak boundaries invite disrespect. Strong boundaries command respect. And if you don't respect your own boundaries, don't expect anyone else to. The energy you allow is the energy you will live with. Every time you tolerate something that goes against your standards, you lower your value in the eyes of others. Every time you accept inconsistency, disrespect, or half effort, you send a silent message that it is okay, and people will treat you based on what you allow. If you do not set clear boundaries, if you do not communicate what is and isn't acceptable, you will always be adjusting to the comfort of others while sacrificing your own. But when you set standards and hold them, people recognize that you are not someone to be played with. And that is powerful. Why most people struggle with boundaries? The reason many struggle with setting boundaries is fear. Fear of losing people. Fear of coming across as difficult. Fear of being alone. But what's worse? Losing people who don't respect you, or losing yourself trying to please them? People who truly value you will respect your boundaries. Those who don't, they were never meant to be in your life in the first place. Boundaries are not about controlling others. They are about protecting your energy. They are about making it clear that your time, your emotions, and your presence are not to be taken lightly. And the truth is, the moment you start enforcing them, you filter out the wrong people effortlessly. Why saying no is a sign of strength. Many believe that being agreeable makes them more likable, that saying yes to everything makes them more valuable. But the reality is, people respect those who are not afraid to say no. No to disrespect, no to manipulation, no to situations that drain your energy. Saying no does not make you selfish, it makes you self-respecting. It communicates that you know your worth, that you do not bend just to keep the peace, that you will not compromise your values just to be accepted. And the more you practice saying no to things that do not serve you, the more you make space for what actually does. Boundaries in relationships, the difference between love and dependency. A relationship without boundaries is not love, it is dependency. Love respects space. Love honors individuality. Love does not demand that you sacrifice your needs just to keep someone happy. Too often, people lose themselves in relationships because they fail to set boundaries. They tolerate things that make them uncomfortable. They silence their needs out of fear of conflict. They give and give until there is nothing left. But real love, healthy love, thrives within boundaries. It grows when both people have self-respect. When both understand that personal space, emotional well-being, and self-worth are non-negotiable. If someone resists your boundaries, it is not love, it is control. It is a test to see how much they can take without giving. And you do not have to participate in that kind of imbalance. Enforcing boundaries without guilt is what stops most people from enforcing boundaries. They feel bad for saying no. They feel like they are disappointing others. They feel like they are being too harsh. But guilt is a trick. It is a conditioning that makes you believe that your needs are less important than the comfort of others. Let this sink in. You are not responsible for how others react to your boundaries. You are only responsible for honoring yourself. If someone gets upset because you respect yourself, that is their issue, not yours. If someone tries to guilt you into tolerating something that drains you, that is manipulation, not love. And the people who truly respect you will never make you feel bad for protecting your peace. The confidence that comes with strong boundaries, something shifts the moment you start standing firm in your boundaries. You feel lighter. You feel more in control. You stop over-explaining. Stop justifying. Stop feeling the need to please everyone. You start walking with confidence. You start moving with certainty. You no longer waste energy on things that do not align with your self-worth. And people notice. They notice when you no longer tolerate disrespect. They notice when you stop engaging in unnecessary drama. They notice when you operate from a place of strength rather than fear. And suddenly the way they treat you changes. Because now they understand that they can only have access to you on your terms. Final thought, boundaries are a reflection of self-love. At the end of the day, setting boundaries is not about pushing people away. It is about creating a life where you are honored, respected, and valued. It is about making sure that your kindness is not mistaken for weakness, that your love is not taken for granted, that your energy is only given to those who deserve it. Because when you respect yourself, the world has no choice but to respect you too. The quality of your life is determined by the standards you set for yourself. Not by luck, not by chance, not by what others decide to give you. It is you who decides what you accept, what you tolerate, and what you refuse to entertain. Low standards bring low-quality experiences. High standards bring high-quality results. And this truth applies to every area of life. Your relationships, your career, your health, your happiness. Everything you allow into your life is a reflection of the expectations you hold for yourself. You don't get what you want, you get what you demand. What you settle for becomes your reality. Every time you accept less than you deserve, you teach the world how to treat you. Every time you tolerate inconsistency, disrespect, or mediocrity, you send a message that it is okay. And once you lower your standards, raising them again becomes a battle, because people get used to what you allow. If you accept half-hearted effort, that's all you'll get. If you tolerate dishonesty, lies will become normal. If you allow disrespect, you will find yourself in a cycle of disappointment. But the moment you set a higher standard, when you make it clear that you will not accept anything beneath your worth, everything changes. Not everyone will meet your new standard. And that's okay, because the right ones will. The people who truly belong in your life will rise to meet you. The opportunities meant for you will align with your expectations, and most importantly, you will begin to attract experiences that reflect your true value. Why people fear raising their standards? Many are afraid to set high standards because they believe it will push people away. They think that expecting more will leave them with nothing. But settling does not bring happiness. It brings regret. Keeping low standards does not make people love you more. It only makes them value you less. It makes them see you as someone who will always adjust, always compromise, always bend just to keep them around. But when you raise your standards, when you make it clear that you will not settle for anything beneath your worth, you do not lose people. You lose the wrong people. the ones who were never truly invested, the ones who only stayed because they could take advantage, the ones who were benefiting from your lack of boundaries and expectations. And what remains? Quality. Quality people, quality relationships, quality experiences. Because when you expect more, you attract better. How high standards build self-respect. Your standards are not just about others. They are about you. They are about the level of respect you have for yourself. When you set high standards, you communicate to yourself that you are worthy of great things. You reinforce the belief that you deserve respect, kindness, and effort. You align your actions with self-love, and that changes everything. Suddenly, you stop chasing. You stop begging. You stop settling for half-hearted attention. You no longer tolerate behavior that drains you. And the moment you start treating yourself with respect, the world follows your lead. People sense your confidence. They recognize that you are not someone who will accept less. They understand that they either meet your standard or they are not a part of your life. And that is powerful. What raising your standards looks like. Raising your standards is not about demanding perfection. It is about demanding respect, effort, and alignment. It is about making sure that the people, opportunities, and experiences in your life match your level of self-worth. It means no longer tolerating bare minimum effort. It means surrounding yourself with people who uplift, not drain. It means expecting honesty, consistency, and integrity in every relationship. It means choosing yourself every time. When you raise your standards, you shift from accepting what is given to you to choosing what you deserve. And the difference between the two is life-changing. Because suddenly you are no longer a passive participant in your life. You are in control. You are creating your reality. You are shaping the kind of love, respect, and success that surrounds you. The cost of keeping low standards. Keeping low standards comes at a cost, and that cost is your happiness, your peace, and your self-respect. You cannot expect fulfillment while settling for less. You cannot expect happiness while tolerating things that make you unhappy. You cannot expect respect while allowing disrespect. Every time you say yes to something that does not align with your worth, you are saying no to something that does. And in the end, the regret of not choosing yourself is far greater than the temporary discomfort of raising your standards. The transformation that happens when you demand more, something incredible happens when you stop settling, when you finally decide that you deserve better. The entire way you move through life shifts. You stop wasting time on people who do not value you. You stop seeking validation from those who do not see your worth. You stop allowing fear to keep you in places that drain your energy. And instead, you begin to attract experiences that bring fulfillment. You surround yourself with people who respect you. You make decisions that align with your highest potential. Because the moment you raise your standards, the world rises to meet them. Final thought. You set the standard for your life. No one else gets to decide what you deserve. No one else gets to determine your worth. Only you do. You do not have to settle. You do not have to accept less than what you desire. You do not have to lower yourself just to keep people around. You set the tone. You define the expectations. You choose the quality of your life. And when you demand more, when you refuse to settle, the world has no choice but to give you exactly what you are worth. Everything in life operates on energy. Your thoughts, your actions, your presence, all of it sends a message to the world about who you are and what you expect. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are. If you carry yourself with confidence, you will attract people who recognize your value. If you move through life with uncertainty, you will invite situations that reflect that doubt. If you walk with purpose, opportunities will find you. But if you shrink yourself, the world will overlook you. Your energy is powerful. It is shaping your reality every single day. And the moment you become intentional about the energy you put out, you will begin to see a shift in what comes back to you. Your mindset shapes your reality. The thoughts you hold about yourself determine how the world responds to you. If you believe you are not worthy, your actions will reflect that belief. You will accept less. You will hesitate. You will allow situations that do not serve you. But when you believe in your worth, everything changes. Your posture changes. The way you speak changes. The way you handle challenges changes. You no longer settle for what is handed to you. You move with certainty and the world notices. Your thoughts create your reality. If you constantly tell yourself that good things are out of reach, you will find reasons to prove yourself right. But if you train your mind to see abundance, to expect great things, to know that you are deserving, your life will begin to align with that belief. Confidence is the key to attraction. Confidence is not about being the loudest in the room. It is not about arrogance or seeking validation. True confidence is quiet. It is knowing who you are, what you bring to the table, and refusing to shrink to make others comfortable. When you walk into a room with confidence, you do not need to chase attention. It naturally gravitates toward you. The way you carry yourself, the way you hold eye contact, the way you speak with certainty, it all signals that you are someone worth noticing. Confidence tells the world that you expect respect. It tells people that you know your value and that you will not settle for anything beneath that. And when you exude that energy, the right people will recognize it. The power of boundaries in attraction. One of the most attractive qualities a person can have is strong boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are a declaration of self-respect. They communicate to the world what you will and will not accept. When you have clear boundaries, you are not easily swayed. You do not allow others to dictate your worth. You do not compromise your values just to keep someone in your life. And that level of certainty is magnetic. People are drawn to those who stand firm in their beliefs, who do not tolerate disrespect, who know exactly what they deserve. Boundaries do not push the right people away. They filter out the ones who were never meant to stay. When you respect yourself enough to set boundaries, you attract those who will respect them too. Your standards define your circle. The people you surround yourself with are a reflection of your own energy. If you accept toxic relationships, if you entertain negativity, if you tolerate half-hearted effort, you will continue to attract those patterns into your life. But the moment you decide that you will only engage with people who uplift, who respect, who bring value, you will begin to see a shift. High standards do not make you difficult, they make you clear. And clarity is powerful. It removes confusion. It removes uncertainty. It removes wasted time on people and situations that do not align with your worth. Your energy sets the tone for the kind of people you allow into your life. If you want to attract better, become better. Elevate yourself, and you will naturally attract those on the same level. Attraction is not about looks. It's about presence. People often think attraction is about physical appearance, but that is only a small piece of the equation. The most powerful form of attraction is presence. It is the way you make others feel. It is the energy you bring into a room. It is the confidence, warmth, and strength you radiate. When you walk with purpose, when you exude self-respect, when you move with intention, you become magnetic. People are drawn to those who are unapologetically themselves, who do not seek approval, who do not beg for attention, but simply exist in their own power. You do not have to change who you are to attract what you desire. You only have to step into your full potential. Shifting your energy to attract the best. If you want to attract better, you must become a reflection of what you seek. If you want love, be love. If you want respect, embody respect. If you want success, move like someone who is already successful. Your energy creates your reality. Every day you are either attracting what you want or repelling it based on how you carry yourself, how you think, how you act. When you elevate your mindset, when you demand more, when you hold yourself to a higher standard, you will find that the world begins to align with your expectations. You are not meant to chase, you are meant to attract. And that starts with the energy you bring into every space you enter. A high-quality man does not just look at beauty, he looks at presence. He looks at energy. He looks at how a woman carries herself, how she speaks, how she moves through life. Attraction is more than appearance. It is a reflection of who you are inside. If you want to attract a high-quality man, you must first become a high-quality woman. You must elevate yourself to the level of the person you wish to attract. You cannot expect a man of value to enter your life if you are not embodying value yourself. Self-worth is the foundation. A woman who truly understands her worth does not chase. She does not beg for attention. She does not settle for breadcrumbs of love. She moves differently. She knows she is enough. When you walk with self-worth, people feel it. It shows in the way you speak, in the way you hold your head high, in the way you refuse to tolerate less than you deserve. A high-quality man is not looking for a woman who needs him to feel valuable. He is drawn to a woman who already sees her own worth, because that kind of woman adds value to his life. Men of substance do not want to rescue. They do not want to fix. They are attracted to women who bring confidence, clarity, and emotional strength. When you make your worth non-negotiable, you naturally attract a man who respects and honors that. Emotional strength is power. Life is full of challenges, but your ability to navigate them with grace determines the kind of people you attract. A strong woman does not crumble in the face of adversity. She does not let emotions control her. She knows how to process, how to express, how to handle difficult situations with maturity. A high-quality man is not looking for perfection. He is looking for a woman who can handle life with resilience, someone who does not react impulsively, someone who communicates with clarity instead of anger, someone who can stand in the storm and remain composed. Your ability to manage your emotions is a direct reflection of your strength. It shows that you are in control of your life, that you do not depend on external validation to feel whole. And that kind of energy is magnetic. Independence is attractive. A woman who has her own passions, her own goals, her own vision is captivating. She does not sit around waiting for a man to complete her. She is already whole. A man of value is drawn to a woman who has direction in life, someone who is building something, someone who is not looking for a relationship to be her entire world, but instead a beautiful addition to the life she has already created. Independence does not mean pushing men away. It means standing firm in your own purpose while allowing space for the right person to walk beside you. A man respects a woman who has drive, who is constantly growing, who does not settle for mediocrity. When you are deeply engaged in your own life, you naturally attract someone who is doing the same. A partnership built on two whole individuals is far stronger than one built on dependency. Feminine energy is a superpower. Strength does not mean hardness. Confidence does not mean aggression. A high-value woman knows how to balance strength with softness. Feminine energy is magnetic. It is not about weakness. It is about warmth, grace, and the ability to flow with life. It is the power of being deeply in touch with emotions, of bringing peace instead of chaos, of radiating a presence that feels inviting. A man of substance does not want to compete with a woman. He wants to complement her. He is drawn to the woman who knows when to be strong, but also when to lean into her softness. A feminine woman does not chase, does not demand, does not control. She attracts. She inspires. She creates space for a man to step up, to lead, to want to be a part of her world. Knowing what you want is key. A woman who is clear about what she wants does not waste time on men who do not align with her vision. She does not entertain men who are unsure, who play games, who offer inconsistency. When you set standards, you weed out the wrong ones effortlessly. You do not have to fight for love. You do not have to beg for attention. You simply choose wisely. The right man will not be intimidated by your standards. He will rise to meet them. But he can only do that if you are firm in what you will and will not accept. When you stop making excuses for low effort, when you stop tolerating mixed signals, when you walk away from anything that does not serve you, you make room for the right one to step in. Your energy speaks before you do. Everything about you. Your posture, your tone, your confidence tells the world what to think about you. If you walk through life unsure, hesitant, seeking validation, people will treat you accordingly. But when you walk with certainty, when you own who you are, when you believe in yourself, the world responds. A high-quality man does not just see a woman's looks. He feels her presence. He notices the way she carries herself, the way she holds space, the way she radiates self-assurance. If you want to attract someone who is confident, who is driven, who is emotionally stable, you must embody those qualities first. Your energy is your greatest asset. Protect it, elevate it, align it with the kind of love you desire. And when you do, you will no longer chase, you will attract. A woman who knows her worth does not just carry confidence, she enforces it through her actions. She does not let anyone treat her as an option. She does not accept behavior that disrespects her. She does not allow her emotions to override her self-respect. A high-quality man is drawn to a woman who has clear boundaries. Because boundaries are not walls, they are guidelines for self-respect. They communicate what is acceptable and what is not. They show the world how you expect to be treated. Weak boundaries invite the wrong people into your life. They allow inconsistency, excuses, and disrespect to linger. But strong boundaries filter out anyone who does not align with your value system. They make it clear that you are not desperate for attention, that you are not afraid to walk away from anything that does not serve you. A woman with standards does not fear losing someone because she understands that anyone who cannot respect those standards is not meant for her. How you teach others to treat you. People do not just treat you based on who they are. They treat you based on what you allow. If you tolerate inconsistency, you will attract men who are inconsistent. If you tolerate dishonesty, you will attract men who lie. If you settle for less than you deserve, you will attract men who give you less. But when you demand respect, not through words, but through your actions, the wrong men disappear and the right ones step forward. A high-value man is not looking for a woman who bends over backward for his attention. He is looking for a woman who knows what she deserves and does not settle for less. He respects the woman who can say no, who can walk away from anything that does not meet her standards, who does not operate from a place of fear. Your standards are not about being difficult. They are about self-protection. They are about preserving your energy for the people and experiences that deserve you. The strength of walking away, one of the most powerful things a woman can do is to walk away from what does not align with her value. It is not easy. It takes strength. It takes courage. It takes deep self-awareness. But nothing attracts a high-value man more than a woman who refuses to accept half love. A woman who is not afraid of losing someone who is not treating her right. A woman who understands that she is the prize. When you operate from this mindset, something changes. You stop begging for attention. You stop chasing after people who are not making an effort. You stop settling for situations that drain your energy. And the moment you decide to walk away from what no longer serves you, you open the door for something greater. Emotional maturity is a game changer. A high-quality man is not drawn to drama. He is not interested in chaos, in emotional roller coasters. He is attracted to stability, to a woman who knows how to handle conflict with maturity, to a woman who knows how to communicate with grace. It is not about being perfect. It is about being self-aware, knowing when to step back, when to respond instead of react, when to approach situations with a level head instead of impulse. A woman with emotional maturity does not get pulled into petty arguments. She does not lash out when things do not go her way. She understands that her emotions are valid, but she does not let them control her actions. And when a man sees this level of emotional strength, he knows he is dealing with a woman who is on another level. Someone he can trust, someone he can build with, someone who brings peace, not stress. The value of self-respect over approval, a woman who prioritizes her self-respect over seeking approval, is unstoppable. She does not change herself to fit into someone's expectations. She does not shrink to make others comfortable. She does not betray her own needs just to be liked. Because the truth is, trying to please everyone is the fastest way to lose yourself. The moment you start compromising your values to gain someone's attention, you start giving away your power. A high-quality man is not looking for a woman who changes herself for him. He is looking for a woman who is solid in who she is. Someone who does not need constant validation. Someone who does not base her worth on whether or not a man chooses her. When you own who you are, when you embrace your individuality, when you refuse to dim your light for anyone, you radiate unshakable confidence. And that kind of confidence is magnetic. The difference between confidence and arrogance. Confidence is knowing your worth without needing to prove it. It is quiet, it is steady, it is a deep understanding of who you are. Arrogance, on the other hand, is rooted in insecurity. It seeks validation, it demands attention, it tries to force respect instead of earning it. A truly confident woman does not need to announce her value. Her presence speaks for itself. She does not put others down to feel superior. She does not need constant reassurance. She moves through life with grace and certainty, knowing that her worth is not up for debate. And when you step into this kind of confidence, you become undeniable. The ultimate key to attracting a high-quality man is not about playing games. It is not about trying to be someone you are not. It is about becoming the best version of yourself. It is about embodying the qualities you want to attract: strength, self-respect, emotional intelligence, independence, confidence. Because when you are the kind of woman who radiates these traits, you do not have to chase. You do not have to prove your worth. You do not have to settle. The right man will recognize your value. He will step up. He will meet you at your level. And you will never have to convince him to stay, because he will know that a woman like you is a rare gift. Everything in life is energy. The way you think, the way you speak, the way you carry yourself, it all creates an invisible force around you. People feel this energy before you even say a word. It speaks louder than your looks, louder than your words, louder than anything you could ever try to prove. A high-value man is not just looking for a beautiful face or a nice personality. He is drawn to the energy a woman carries. The way she walks into a room, the way she holds herself, the way she handles challenges. He notices whether she radiates peace or desperation, whether she moves with confidence or insecurity, whether she is whole on her own or searching for someone to complete her. Desperation repels. Confidence attracts. If you chase, you push people away. If you try too hard to impress, it backfires. If you need someone to fill a void in your life, you will always attract the wrong people. Because neediness draws in those who want to control, not cherish. But when you are at peace with yourself, when you live a life that excites you, when you wake up every day fulfilled on your own, you become a magnet not just for a high-quality man, but for everything great in life. How to shift your energy to attract the right people. You do not attract what you want, you attract who you are. If you want respect, you must body self-respect. If you want deep love, you must first cultivate that love within yourself. If you want commitment, you must show that you are committed to your own growth, your own happiness, your own purpose. A woman who is full of life does not wait for someone to bring excitement into her world. She creates it. She invests in herself. She finds joy in her passions. She surrounds herself with people who inspire her. She does not sit around waiting to be chosen. She chooses herself first. And when a high-value man sees this, he does not just admire it, he is drawn to it. Because men respect women who respect themselves. They value women who bring something to the table beyond just looks or charm. They fall for women who already love their lives and are simply looking for someone to share that life with. Why your mindset shapes your reality. Everything starts with your mind. The way you see yourself determines how the world sees you. If you believe you are not worthy, you will settle for less. If you doubt your value, you will attract people who take advantage of that doubt. If you carry the fear of being alone, you will cling to people who are not meant for you. But when you shift your mindset, your entire world changes. You start expecting more. You stop tolerating things that do not align with your worth. You begin to carry yourself with a quiet confidence, knowing that you are deserving of everything you desire. And this shift in mindset does something powerful. It changes the way people treat you. It makes you a woman who commands respect without demanding it. It makes you someone who naturally stands out, not because you are trying, but because you are simply being yourself at your highest level. The power of walking with certainty. There is something magnetic about a woman who knows who she is. She does not seek approval. She does not question her worth. She does not wait for someone else to validate her. She walks through life with certainty. This certainty is not arrogance. It is self-assurance. It is the kind of energy that makes people pay attention. It is the quiet but powerful presence of someone who is unshaken by external opinions. Men respect a woman who carries herself this way because it tells them one thing: she cannot be played with. She cannot be manipulated. She will not accept less than she deserves. And this instantly sets her apart. A woman who operates from this mindset does not need to convince a man to treat her well. He naturally steps up because he knows that if he does not, she will simply walk away. Self-love is the foundation of everything. A high-value man does not complete a woman. He complements her. He is not there to fill a void. He is there to add to a life that is already rich and fulfilling. This is why self-love is so critical, because without it, relationships become a form of escape instead of a source of growth. Without it, a woman starts accepting behaviors she should reject. Without it, she loses herself in the process of trying to keep someone else. But a woman who deeply loves herself will never beg for love from anyone else. She will never try to prove her worth. She will never allow herself to be treated as an afterthought. Instead, she will attract a man who reflects that same level of love and respect. A man who does not see her as an option, but as a priority. A man who recognizes that a woman like her is rare and irreplaceable. The final truth: attracting a high-quality man is not about playing games. It is not about pretending to be something you are not. It is about becoming the best version of yourself, not for a man, but for you. When you stop chasing and start elevating, everything changes. When you stop looking for love and start being loved, the right person will find you. When you step into your full power, you no longer have to ask for respect. It is simply given. Because a high-value woman does not hope for a good man. She knows he will come. And she never lowers her standards to meet someone at their level. Instead, she stands firm, and watches as the right man rises to meet her where she is. There is nothing more powerful than a woman who truly understands her worth. A woman who refuses to settle for anything less than what she deserves. A woman who carries herself with the quiet confidence of someone who knows her value no matter who recognizes it. When a woman knows her worth, she does not chase, she attracts. She does not beg, she decides. She does not accept bare minimum effort. She commands respect simply by the way she lives. She is not waiting for validation because she already validates herself. She is not afraid to walk away because she trusts that what is meant for her will never require her to compromise her dignity. And this is what separates her. This is what makes her different. A woman like this does not lower her standards to keep someone in her life. She rises higher and trusts that the right person will meet her there. Letting go of what no longer serves you. One of the hardest things in life is learning to let go of people who are not meant for you. It is easy to hold on to someone out of fear, out of habit, out of hope that they will change, but deep down you already know the truth. You know when someone is draining you instead of uplifting you. You know when a relationship is forcing you to shrink instead of grow. You know when you are holding on to potential instead of reality. A high-value woman does not cling to something that is slowly breaking her. She does not fight for someone who does not fight for her. She does not waste her time trying to prove her worth to a man who cannot see it on his own. She understands that walking away is not a loss, it is a gain. It is reclaiming her power. It is making space for something better. It is choosing herself. Patience and trust in the process. A woman who knows her worth does not rush the process. She does not force connections. She does not settle for good enough just because she is tired of waiting for what she truly deserves. She understands that the best things in life take time. She understands that real love is not something that can be chased or manipulated. It is something that naturally aligns when the time is right. She would rather be alone than in the wrong relationship. She would rather wait for something real than settle for something that looks good on the surface but feels empty inside. And because of this, she carries an aura of peace. She is not desperate. She is not anxious. She trusts that everything she desires is already making its way to her. She trusts that the right man, the one who truly sees her, values her, and appreciates everything she is, will find her when the time is right. Creating a life you love first. The biggest mistake people make is thinking that a relationship will complete them. That finding the right person will suddenly make everything in their life better. But the truth is, a relationship should be an addition to an already beautiful life, not a replacement for happiness. A woman who is truly magnetic does not wait for someone else to bring her joy. She creates it herself. She pours into her passions. She builds the life she has always dreamed of. She surrounds herself with people who inspire her, challenge her, and push her to grow. She is already whole on her own. She does not need a relationship to feel worthy. She does not need a man to feel valuable. She does not seek love from a place of emptiness. She seeks it from a place of overflow. And this is what makes her so attractive. This is what makes her irresistible to a high-value man. Because he does not see a woman who is looking to be saved. He sees a woman who is already thriving and simply wants someone to share her journey with. The power of walking away from what does not align. One of the greatest strengths a woman can have is the ability to walk away, to leave situations that do not serve her, to say no to relationships that do not align with her standards. This is not weakness. This is power. The power to know that she is not for everyone, and that is okay. The power to stand firm in her values, even when it means walking alone for a while. The power to trust that by letting go of the wrong things, she is making space for something greater. The right man will never make her feel like she has to prove herself. He will never make her question her worth. He will never ask her to dim her light just to fit into his life. And when a woman understands this, she stops chasing, she stops settling, she stops doubting. Instead, she elevates. And in that elevation, she attracts everything she once thought she had to fight for. Final words. At the end of the day, the secret to attracting a high-queed man is simple. Become a high-queed woman first. Love yourself so deeply that the wrong people cannot break you. Respect yourself so much that the wrong men cannot fool you. Elevate yourself so high that the right man has no choice but to meet you there. And when you do this, love is no longer something you chase. It is something you naturally attract. The right person will not need convincing. The right person will see your value without explanation. The right person will come into your life not to complete you, but to complement the masterpiece that you are ready